Hello everybody, this is Shady here, and today I want to do my first buying guide for obviously a console buying guide, and I thought the first system I want to talk about is the Nintendo Wii U, what I think is an absolute classic, and really we're gonna go over a little history lesson first, and then obviously we'll go into the system itself, accessories, and then some games. And yeah, obviously, first of all, the Wii U was released back in 2012, November 2012. This was Nintendo's entry into the 8th generation of consoles, their first HT system, and it's the successor, the direct successor to the Wii. And the interesting thing about the Wii U is it's like Nintendo's second worst selling console of all time after the Virtual Boy. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it only sold like 13 or so million units or something, or maybe 17. It was like really, really underperformed. But despite that, I still think it's an amazing console. It's definitely one you should add to your collection. One of the main reasons I really like this system is, first of all, this thing, the gamepad. This is the controller. Look, this is a full freaking controller with a screen on it. And what's amazing about this is you can seamlessly change from playing on the TV to on the screen, and there's no lag or anything. It's actually insane. Like, think about that for a second. You can switch between home to thingy, basically remote play. I mean, obviously you can only really do it within the same room. That's the only annoying thing, but still, it's kind of incredible, and like one of the coolest features ever. Yeah, it's definitely a unique beast anyway. And another great thing about the system is, I want to say there's only about there's less than 200 games on the system. There's a few exclusive to certain regions. Like for example, I think Fatal Frame Main and then the Blackwater is only in PAL and Japan, and I think there might have been Yakuza 1 and 2 HD release in Japan or something like that, and a couple others, and a couple limited run releases. But yeah, besides that, you got about, I think just under 200 games. So it's a very easy system to get a full collection for. The only thing is, a few of the games are kind of expensive. Devil's Third, for example, and Fatal Frame, like I said, as well, made in the Blackwater. But besides that, yeah, most of the games are insanely cheap. Obviously, a lot of them have been ported to the Switch. So for some people it's like, oh, what's the point? But typically the Wii U version will be a lot cheaper. A game, for example, Captain Toad Treasure Trove, the Wii U version is like £8, and the Switch version is 40 plus. You'll be lucky to find it for 30. So that's the kind of disparity there in terms of price. Obviously, let's talk about the system itself. So, obviously, this is what the system looks like. It's a pretty unassuming little box. There's not much to it. You can obviously have it, you have a stand, typically you can have it this way, or you can just have it leaning on this way. There's really just two different SKUs of the system. You have this the black version. This was the Pro model, which had 32 gigabytes of internal RAM. And then there's a white model, which only has 8 gigs of internal RAM. Obviously the internal RAM, at this point it doesn't matter because the eShop is closed down. The only thing you'll really need it for is the patches for the games. So yeah, you can expand memory very easily on the system though. I have a little thumb drive in the back there. You can put a thumb drive, probably not the best thing to do, but you can do that. You can also, if you have a USB to SD card converter, you can put that in the back, or even a external hard drive if you want to expand the memory. There is also at the front there, if I can even open it, you do have a couple more USB ports, and there's a SD card slot. That was just used to transfer stuff from Wii to Wii U, because obviously it was completely backwards compatible. It can play all Wii games and everything. And yeah, it's pretty good. And obviously we have the controller, just the standard controller, like that, the gamepad. It's surprisingly light and actually feels really good. Yeah, I actually really like this controller. I think it feels great. Yeah, you do also, it has a stylus. This isn't the original one, it's a replacement one I got. So yeah, you may want to look into that when you get it. Another thing, you're going to need a charger for this, because obviously it came with, obviously the console has a power cord, but there's also, you have to have a separate power adapter, a wall plug for this. So make sure you get that when you buy it. Another thing, obviously, yeah, it should typically come with a sensor bar, because yeah, to use the Wiimote nunchuck, because you can in fact use a Wiimote nunchuck as a control method. It is backwards compatible, and there's certain games that do allow for that support as well, which is great. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then the best thing in my opinion, sorry it's a little dusty, but yeah, you have this, the Pro Controller. This was their take on, you know, just a standard controller. As you can see, it literally just looks like a 360 controller, but it has both buttons on the top. So it's kind of like this good sort of cross between a PS3 and 360 one in a way. Feels really good, a little lighter, just really comfortable. It's a great controller, and the charge on this is insane. Like, I think you can get like a good 30 plus hours on one charge or something like that. It's crazy. Considering, like, you know, I think the PS5 DualSense is like 3-4 hours at best if you're lucky. So yeah, not too bad. Obviously, like I was saying, you want the, make sure you have the sensor bar, the charger for that, and then look into these accessories. They're not too expensive. You don't necessarily need them. The Wiimote nunchuck and the sensor bar you will need if you want to do backwards compatibility though, because obviously you could just plug in a Wii game and it works, and it upscales it, which is kind of cool. And then obviously there are a couple of console variations as well. There was one for the Wind Waker, which basically, the Wind Waker HD, which basically just had like gold kind of Zelda-ish lettering around the gamepad. But besides that, it's exactly the same. And then really there's only variations in boxes with games that are bundled with it. And that's just something you really want to look into, because it didn't do too well. There wasn't any real kind of big console revisions or variations. It's just, that's what I like about it. It's very simple. So there's just that, the black one, the white one, and then just the accessories, and that's it. And then obviously, yeah, you can get a white controller to match, and white Wiimote nunchuck, whatever, to match the color of your console if you want. Another thing is there's the GameCube controller adapter. This is just for Smash Bros. So you can get that in a GameCube controller. Hook up 4 of them if you want to play Smash Bros with the GameCube controller, which is kind of cool. And unfortunately, it doesn't work with Wii games. Unfortunately, yeah, you can't do that. Another annoying thing is, if I'm correct, there's a weird thing with the gamepad with Wii games. I think basically you can use this as the Pro Controller, but only for games that were downloaded directly from the console or something like that. It's a very weird thing. So obviously you'll want to get a Wii Pro Controller as well, possibly, if you want to play your Wii games with the standard controller. Just a bit of an annoying thing. But yeah, something to look into. And then obviously we've got the last part of this buying guide, which is obviously the games. One of the most important parts. And yeah, I've got a few here that I think are great. First of all, we'll talk about, this was a launch title, Zombie EU. Obviously, you've probably seen this game. It is on PS4, Xbox, and PC now. This was basically kind of a first-person survival horror game done by Ubisoft. This one's really cool because it was actually designed for this gamepad. You kind of do like your menuing and stuff, real time, while, you know, searching through bags for items and stuff while exploring. And yeah, that's kind of lost in the newer ones because you're meant to actually be able to look up while you're doing it, and it adds that sort of immersion. Another cool thing is this is actually set in London. That's why you see the dude, the English Bobby guy, whatever you want to call him. Not a Bobby, that's a cop. But yeah, that's why he looks like the Queen's Guard type of dude. But yeah, it's a really cool game. Very cheap as well. Next up, this is an interesting release. This is Rodeo the Sky Soldier. So this is actually done by Yuji Naka, who obviously you know from the Sonic games and the incredible Balan Wonderland, or Wonderworld, whatever the hell that terrible game is. This one's really interesting because this includes a Wii and a Wii U game. Yes, and you even have a interchangeable cover, which you can kind of see there. And what's really interesting about this release is it was basically originally a Wii game, and then they decided it was delayed, and then they just ended up doing a Wii U version and a 3DS version as well. And then they bundled, instead of shelving the Wii version, they thankfully bundled them together. And I think Yuji Naka said that the Wii version is actually the definitive one. It was designed for that system. So the Wii one uses motion controls, and obviously isn't HD, and then the Wii U one is HD and adds some like leveling up features and stuff. And yeah, both cool games. It's not like an amazing game, but it's still a cool release and one of the few exclusives left on the Wii U. And then next up, we've got to talk about the two Mario games, both amazing. These obviously both imported now to the Switch, but they're still great. New Super Mario Bros. 3D, my personal favourite Mario game. The Switch version adds Bowser's Fury and I think increases Mario's running speed or something, but still amazing. It has the Catsuit Mario, and yeah, it's just an awesome freaking game. And then yeah, this one is just the new Super Mario style Mario game. 2D though, obviously you could up to 5 players, I think it is. Yeah, one has the gamepad and adds things. You need the actual just standard controller, either Wiimote on its side or the Pro Controller to play that normal. Then I think the gamepad is just specifically for touching things. So, and then this, as you can see, includes Super Luigi U, which is basically a whole expansion. It was released as a separate game during the year of Luigi, but then yeah, they did them together. And weirdly enough, I got this cheaper than they are both separately. Make that make sense. I think it was like, this was a tenner. New Super Mario Brothers U was like 11, and then New Super Luigi's U was like 12 or something. Well, at least what I could see. So just buy this version. There's no point buying them separately. And then, yeah, obviously, we had this game, Mario Kart 8. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's played it on the Switch. It's amazing. Deluxe is incredible. You got extra drivers and expansion. There's two, you can hold two weapons at the same time and stuff. But this is where it originally came out. There was an expansion that you did get extra characters in this version, but you can't buy that expansion though, unfortunately. Still really cool. Still great on there. It had great use of the gamepad as well. You could see the menu and where everyone was. It's really cool, and obviously it stars the motion controls and everything. Still a pretty great game. So still, even though the Switch version is better, I'd still say it's worth picking it up. Next up, a couple of the cool third-party bangers in my opinion. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yeah, just one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. You're playing as obviously this guy pirate who's pretending to be an assassin, and yeah, it's just a really fun story. Obviously this uses the gamepad for the map and the menuing and all that, which is really cool. Adds an extra dimension. Obviously this is the last gen version, so this is basically based off like the PS3 360 one. Doesn't run quite as well as the next gen one. PS4 and Xbox One version was locked 30 1080p, and I think Xbox One was 900 maybe. And then this one obviously is just 720p and a kind of unstable frame rate, but still fine when you get used to it. Still a cool version. You can also get Assassin's Creed 3 on it as well, so still great. I think Assassin's Creed 3 might have been a launch title as well. Then yeah, Mass Effect 3 as well. EA kind of had a short-lived they were a short-lived partner, third-party partner. They only released a few games, FIFA, Madden, a couple others in this. The games didn't perform, and then they famously pulled support from Nintendo. A lot of people point to that being the first real death knell of the Wii U. Probably is true, but yeah. This is a cool version. Obviously, there was no 1 and 2, so you have to do like similar to like Mass Effect 2 on the PS3, where you had to go through that kind of virtual comic and then choose key points to be able to help influence this third game. I believe this one obviously is special edition, so it includes pretty sure this includes the DLC and everything that was released. So yeah, you got everything there, the like improved ending and everything. Yeah, just a cool version. And then yeah, obviously it uses the gamepad for all sorts of cool mapping and skill features and everything, so it's really cool. And obviously, can't forget to talk about this, Batman Arkham City. Armored Edition. This again was another launch title. This obviously was a big get for Nintendo. This was the first third-party game they announced. Because the whole point was they were saying, we got third parties back, guys, don't worry. And yeah, this basically adds all the DLC. You get some extra Catwoman missions, I think it is. And then there's the new Armored mode, which you can see there. It's basically like a devil trigger for Batman in this game. Arkham City is amazing. It's my personal favourite out of the Arkham games, out of all 4 of them. Yeah, these games are amazing, by the way. Huge Batman fan, so obviously I love this. You could also get Arkham Origins on this. Not as good, but still not as bad as everyone thinks or says. I think it's fine. It just, yeah, just not as good as this one, was it? But yeah, great game. And then a couple more great third-party Nintendo games to look at. Yeah, Captain Toad's Treasure Trove. I talked about this earlier. This is just a really friggin' solid kind of platformer game. So you play as Toad. You can't jump, and then basically you have to go through these labyrinth type missions. You have to collect, like, I think it's 3 stars per level to complete the level, and then it's all about like using the gamepad to kind of twist and turn the game map to go navigate Toad through it. Started off as a mini game in 3D World, and then they expand it to a full game. You play as both Toad and Toadette, which is great. Again, this is available on the Switch. They even did a 3DS port, which is actually really good as well. But yeah, just pick up this version. It's fine. I think they might have added a couple new levels to the Switch version. But yeah, this is great. Get it on either 3 and any of the 3 platforms. It's fine. You're going to have a great time. But yeah, this is the Nintendo Selects version. So it did well enough to actually get a Selects version on the Wii U, which is kind of insane, right? Yeah, and Pikmin 3. Obviously, Pikmin 4's just come out now. And we did have Pikmin 3 HD for the Switch as well. But yeah, this is basically like a... I think it was... Shigeru Miyamoto wanted to kind of create or let people enjoy his love for playing in the back garden when he was a kid or something. So you control these things called Pigments. You have to like collect different items to put them inside your ship. It kind of plays like almost like an RTS type of game in a way, Worms-ish or something. It's really fun. This one's cool because obviously you have the gamepad, you can use Wiimote and nunchuck and everything. And yeah, it's really awesome. So you kind of have the best of both worlds because like a HD sort of looking thing, and then you also get those controls from the Wii version, which is great. Yeah, it's just a solid game, and it still looks friggin' amazing. Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, one of I think this game ended up being delayed a little bit, but yeah, it is amazing. You will love it. And then yeah, there's obviously a couple other ones here. We got the Zelda games on here. There was a few Zelda games there, 4 here in particular. So obviously we've got Twilight Princess HD, which obviously was released for GameCube and Wii, dual release, you know, like another game. And yeah, this is basically based on the GameCube version. So obviously the GameCube and the Wii version, they mirrored the game around for the Wii to match Link's sword with how you would actually hold the Wiimote nunchuck. And yeah, this is the GameCube version in HD. Improves a few things. What was it? You know the parts where you have to gather those like soul things. There's less of them now. And yeah, it's just great. A great game. Hopefully we get this on the Switch someday. But as of now, that's the only way you can play the HD version. And then obviously, this one came out before, but we'll make HD. Just amazing. Again, like with that, you could do all the menuing with the gamepad. This game just looks stunning. There's a strange thing with this game where it was like, for some reason, because of Toon Link, people didn't like it. They thought it looked too kiddish or something. So this was kind of the game's second chance. And obviously by the time it got re-released on there, I think everyone kind of realised, yeah, this is kind of amazing actually. Yeah, not my favourite Zelda game, but still really good and is up there. It just looks beautiful. Like this style of graphics, the shell-shaded graphics, just lend themselves so well to HD visuals. So like they didn't need to improve the graphics, just put it in HD, just put it over the top and made it look good. Twilight Princess hasn't aged quite as well, but this still looks amazing to this day. Like they can re-release this for the Switch, and I think it would still be one of the best looking games around. Obviously, yeah, they added the Swift Sail and kind of made navigating the world a bit easier, so adds, you know, decreases some of the friction of the game. Definitely the version to pick up. This should be one of the first games you pick up when you pick up a Wii U. So, a couple more games. Obviously, we have Hyrule Warriors. This is basically just a Zelda Musha game. You know, basically just Dynasty Warriors in the Zelda universe. And yeah, you can't go wrong. There's again, this one is on Switch and has a deluxe edition with some extra stuff. Even has a sequel. What was it called? Like I can't remember, like Calamity of Ganon or something. Yeah, really good game though. Awesome looking game. Just fun. You know, Mushi games are just dumb fun, so you can't go wrong with them. And obviously there was another final one, Breath of the Wild. Dual release. This was obviously the game announced. Zelda Wii U got delayed for ages. Eventually was announced as Breath of the Wild, and that is going to release on both Switch and Wii U. And yeah, plays pretty well. The Switch version, I think, is high resolution. I think it's like 900p when docked, and performs slightly better. This one's 720p. Still a great game. This is how I played the game at first. I didn't buy a Switch day one because I have a Wii U. So yeah, I'm one of the few people who did play this version. I know that what was really funny is because the Switch was so hard to get at first, like every bloody Nintendo system, people picked up Wii U's just to play this game. Like, that's how big a deal it was. Obviously, Tears of the Kingdom improves most things, in my opinion. It's just, it understands, well, I think they saw how people played Breath of the Wild, and they loved all the systemic elements and the crafting and all that, and they designed a whole game around that. So you can mess around more. Still an amazing game. And it seems like this is kind of the direction that Zelda's going to be staying in from now on. I don't really like that. I kind of hope they do older style Zelda games as well, with more traditional dungeons and all that. Because I'm not really a fan of the dungeons aren't as good in these two, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I like the shrines and everything though. But yeah, amazing game. And obviously, as you can see, this thing does have amiibo support. So if you love amiibos, obviously the newer ones probably won't work. But yeah, you can use amiibos. That's basically what that is. That lets you, put on the amiibo. You unlock some cool things. I believe, I got a Wolf Link amiibo for with my version of Twilight Princess. You can, there is a collector's edition of Twilight Princess, which I picked up day one. So you might want to look into that. And then there's one last game to talk about, which I think you should absolutely buy. Xenoblade Chronicles X. This is, in my opinion, the best game on the Wii U. One of the best games. The one that you should definitely 100% buy day one when you pick it up. So basically, this is obviously, like you can imagine, like Xenoblade Chronicles, giant open world game where you just explore. It's basically a single player MMO. But what this one does, it gives you this, you get this mech that you can explore the world with. The map is giant. It has a slightly more realistic look to it, less of an anime look. And it definitely, it feels almost more Western-ish in a way in that regard, but still has the roots to Japanese games in a way. But yeah, it's just really good. What I like about this one is it feels more gameplay focused and a little bit less story focused in a way. Maybe that's a good or bad thing for you, who knows? But you can definitely sink a lot of hours into this. If there's one game to pick up for the Wii U, it's this one. I don't think it's getting ported. Maybe for the next Switch, possibly. When Nintendo have a kind of a because the Wii U games were great for the Switch because it allowed for these these points in time where they didn't have a big release. It filled in releases, didn't it, in a way, or it stopped there being gaps in releases. So maybe they might be saving it for the next one. Who knows? But anyway, that's pretty much my buying guide for the old Wii U. I think it's an amazing system. Definitely pick one up. Like I said, it's not too cheap. I don't even know if I mentioned price, but yeah. The black model you can typically find for, like, if you're lucky, 150, definitely under 200. Like I said, make sure you get all those other things. The white model is slightly cheaper as well. You can typically find that maybe 40-ish quid cheaper. Look to get a bundle as well, because the thing is with the Wii U, we're still at that point with this system where I don't think it's really become collectible, because obviously most of the games were ported to the Switch. But yeah, I think we're definitely, like with every system, particularly Nintendo ones, we'll get to that point where it just pops and you're probably going to regret not picking it up. So just jump on it now, honestly. You're not going to regret it. It's a great system. Obviously a couple other things to remember. You can, obviously, like I said, there's a stand for this. there's also like a charging cradle type thing that you can get with this. Look into seeing if it comes with a stylus as well for the gamepad and all that. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. Catch you in the next one.